dropping knowledge on Grambo grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure. Nothing but good vibes up in here. We blaze the ganja, keep it fire. Grambo grows, burning desire. Learn about cultivation, step by step. You can rock out the negativity. Cannabis vibes up in here. Grambo grows, I'm something in. Grow, I bring the night.
Nothing but good vibes up in here. Grambo Grows. Welcome, you guys, to the Late Night Smoke, the even later edition of the Late Night Smoke. You guys have been hanging out. Anyone that's hanging out in the live, I appreciate you guys waiting for me. It's a unusual circumstance. Green meds. Thank you so much. Right off the bat, we're starting it off right, getting that the Grambo needs a Grambo fun. If you guys don't know, I'm stepping up this channel here in the summer months, and I'm going to need some help. I've got a new assistant, Mo Grows. She's been helping me with a whole bunch of stuff. So every penny that you guys donate or from the member joining is that all goes to that. It all goes in an account labeled the crew. And I'm stoked about it. So, guys, thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate you guys. If you're into cannabis, growing, smoking, joking, and token, you're in the right place. Make sure that if you are here, hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Let YouTube know. Let them know that the cannabis community won't be denied. We won't be shadow banned. The only way that you guys can let them know is to make our numbers so big that we're undeniable. You know, that's one of those things. So, yes, there's Canorado Chris and his wonderful lady Mo Grows. They've been helping me out. Thank you guys so epically much, and a lot of cool stuff coming. So because I left you guys hanging for so long, what do you think we just get this started? You guys know me. If you've been following Dude Grows, Jug Dealers, or Grambo Grows over here, you guys know I'm a synganic grower, synthetics. Started out growing with Botanicare back in the day, moved over to Psycho Nutrients. Been running between the New Millennium line, and then I'll switch out between New Millennium and Grow Dots, and each has their strengths, each has their weakness. But the thing I've been the most curious about recently is getting into the organics and the different kind of feeding styles that I'm not really familiar with. I consider myself a bit of an expert with the bottles. I know the bottles. Once you know the full New Millennium line inside and out, you kind of get your you get your Red Wings, if you guys know what that means, for the salts. And so I'm curious about what's going on. Thank you, LJ Jones, dropping 10 gift subs, dropping the 5. I got here late, buddy, and I'm just seeing that. And I got an awesome gift bag for you, LJ Jones. This is there's all kinds of stuff in here. I mean, we got seeds. We got weed. We got more weed. We got you got a Dynavap. This is for you, LJ Jones. Thank you for being such an awesome supporter. And when I finally get a chance to see you, either at the are you going to be at the Cortez wedding? If you're not at the Cortez wedding, then I will see you at the DGC Cup for sure. So thank you, and special shout out Cody Whitaker. You're always out there. You're Gramborg. He's the Ovechkin. You're my Sidney Crosby, my man. So, yeah, without any further delay, let me bring in our guest tonight. You guys know he's an awesome Canadian grower. He's been all over the cultivation network up there. He's rocking it. It's one of those things that I love watching everyone else grow. We get so focused over at the Dude Grows in our own little bubble, and then especially me. There's Cody Whitaker. I knew you were somewhere out there, buddy. Even if I don't see you, I see you. And so, yeah, it's one of the few content creators that I've made sure I've stayed up with his career. He and his co-host C Bunny. I think I saw C Bunny in the chat somewhere there. Make sure you go follow C Bunny. She got deleted not too long ago over on Instagram, so follow C Bunny. And no, we're not 50 first stating up in here. Get out of here. We got the man, the myth, the legend, and one of the original GramBorg members. He is not just a what's that old balding? I'm not just a I don't just own the place. I'm also a client. Whatever it is. Mr. Ganix is also your
Going
GramBorg.
on? Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh man, it's going good, dude. My parenting situations got all flipped around. So normally I take my little girl off to mama's house Sunday night, and then I had to put her to bed, and the sun stays up until damn near 9 o'clock now. And so like literally, I'm like, baby, it's time for bed. And she looks out the window and she's like,
Yeah, but it's still
day,
daylight, Dad.
it's day outside. And I go,
Oh, I've
all
been through
right,
that.
all right.
I've been through that. My youngest is 13 now, so I know exactly
Wow.
how you feel right now. So
You got started early. Mine's 6. I'm an old dad. As my ex used to always say, I'm an old dad.
my youngest is 13. My oldest is he'll be 26 in January. So
Damn, you got started damn early, son. I love it.
hell yeah.
Oh, before we get started, there's C Bunny right there in the house. C Bunny grows.
UCN.
And then my man, I pre-shouted out Cody Whittaker. Thank you for the 10 gift subs, man. That really, every week you guys really overwhelm me with the love, and I'm so blessed to have those two in my community, and you, my friend. So what's going on in Canada? How are you doing?
Doing good, man. The weather's starting to warm up here. We've had some pretty hot temperatures lately. And this weekend's been nothing but rain. It's a long weekend here. It's May 2 for a weekend, and it's known this is like the first camping weekend of Canada. So this is always known to be like the rainiest weekend ever. There's fireworks, there's camping and all that. So of course it's got to rain all weekend, but it
Mhm.
is what it is. But it's been
Yes.
beautiful out there, man. I'm getting that suntan and great. We got out of our igloos, like those have all melted by now, and
Come on. We know how it is. Or at least I do. I always tell you I'm an honorary Canadian. I might not be official.
you
I've never been, but god damn it, I love me some Canada up there. God
you're
damn
the first American that I know that drove a Zamboni. So I mean that's impressive.
it. Today, our buddy Chunky Nugs, he sent me a DM showing that his friend bought a decommissioned Zamboni. He's like, I don't know.
Oh
He doesn't
yeah.
know what he's going to do with it. And I was like, oh, it's a Zamboni 500. That's what I used to drive. That's a good model.
Ooh, ooh, snap.
Hell yeah. So speaking about the outdoors and everything, do you do much outdoor growing? I know we're going to talk about the your style of growing today. I alluded to it with the synthetics, but as you are Mr. Ganix,
Yes.
you're one of my closest organic homies that I speak to regularly. So I want to pick your brain about it. You do much outdoor? You mainly indoor?
So I started growing in 2018 was like when I really started taking it serious. And my very first grow was outdoor. And every year I've done an outdoor grow, and it's always been like that's honestly like that's my favorite. But here where I live, it's so humid, it's so wet in the fall and stuff like that. So it's really hard to get a good outdoor harvest. Your plants look gorgeous, but by the time the fall comes along and you're getting ready to start chopping everything down, that's when you start getting into like the botrytis, your bud rot, your powdery mildew, and all that stuff. So it's hard to finish here. You either chop it down because you got bud rot or powdery mildew, or you chop it down a little bit early and you got to deal with like premature buds. So this year, I just moved into a new place and I don't have a fenced in yard. I have a yard, but it's not fenced in. So this is going to be the very first year since I started growing that I won't be doing outdoor, which is really it cuts deep.
Yeah,
So
I can only imagine. I always I'll get sent pictures of people's outdoor grow. Everyone's just getting everything set up here in the States currently.
yeah,
Mother's Day is traditionally that's
this
the
this is our outdoor
roundabout.
planting weekend right now. This is the weekend
Mhm.
that we start planting outside, depending on the weather, obviously, but this week is kind of our outdoor planting week. So It
Yeah,
sucks
I
that
can
I'm not going to
imagine
be doing it, but I mean, it
you,
is what it
you
is.
get
I
the
got
FOMO.
Yeah, and I got a bigger space than what I had. I think the last time I was here with you. So now I got a couple tents running now. So now I have a little bit more indoor going right now, which is kind of makes up for the outdoor thing. So it'll be okay.
Hell yeah. So that was and then I can't figure out why the hell, like, normally StreamYard's pretty much just like a facilitator of video. I wonder what, like, you got facial tone right now, and I gave you full screen. You go full, nuclear.
Green.
I
Yeah,
wonder why that
that's
is.
weird.
That is
That's
just
weird.
weird. So we're gonna
And
we're
it's
gonna
weird
switch
if I turn
that.
the lights on in this room, I am way too bright. I'm like washed out. I'm like I look like
Yeah.
Casper's, like I'm so white in
People
here. So
I would say that's the most frustrating thing of producing content as far as like my situation is everyone's skin tone is different. So like I
yeah,
light the bakery for Scott on one side and Banner on the other. And anytime we have anybody else in, they either look too dark or they look brutally white. And I can light. I know how to light things. I look like I'm a
yeah.
little red. I could turn down my
Well, it's
paints a
funny
little.
because like I used to do our show, like myself and C Bunny, I used to do our show in a garage. So, the ceiling's way higher, so the lights are up a lot higher. So I had lights all over the place in there. And I came here and I'm in a bedroom basically. It's like an empty bedroom and I have my tents in here and I got my desk in here and that's it. But I came in here and I had all my lights set up that I had for the other show or like the other place that I was at, and you couldn't even see me. I was just like a white glowing light bulb.
Yeah.
So so I got rid of all the lights, and then I had the light on for the room, and then Bunny was like, you just got to shut the lights off and just run with your green lights that you got. So I did that, and then that was the only way that you could actually see me. If I went any other way, I looked like a light bulb. It was crazy.
No, I know the struggles, but especially when you don't
It's
have any
brutal.
hair. Hair bounces in, it diffuses and everything. Yeah,
I actually got more than I usually do right now,
Ooh, look
so
at you. You look like a
I know.
goddamn fucking John Stamos over there. Look at you.
I know it's crazy, but I mean, I got the bald spots back there, so I mean, I do have to, I do have to keep up with it.
My man. And shout out Shane Carpenter. Thank you for the gift sub, my man. So my
Shout
question
out to
was,
everybody in the chat. Everybody was
yeah,
popping
we
off,
got
hanging out.
172 homies hanging out,
We were having a
Dude
party in the
Berries.
chat when you were doing your thing. Everybody thought you were gone. You weren't coming, so I had to kind of.
Ah,
He's coming. He's
you
coming. I
guys,
promise. He's got
you guys.
hit issues going on right now.
They should know. Although I always tell them like every week how like before every Sunday I go, I should cancel tonight. I should cancel. It's too much. It's too much. And then I do it because every single time, like coming in, it's the classic thing of like if someone's struggling with depression, like the only thing that's going to cure you is people, and that's the last
Yes.
thing you want. Like the last thing you want is people, but that's the thing that's going to knock you out of your head and not stop with the
Yeah.
thinkiness.
It's a mental thing coming into it. Like a lot of people, they talk about how nervous they are when it comes to going live or being on somebody else's show or something like that. And I always say, it does get easier, but you never don't get nervous. You never don't have that feeling. It just changes. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're still anxious about it, you're still nervous about it, but it becomes like a excited and nervous after a while. Where at the beginning you're like, "Oh shit, I'm scared, I'm terrified," but then it it does get better.
I had that secret weapon of doing stand up. And I would argue that it is just as hard as people think it is, like when you go up there, because I was a musician for years. I'm from Slipknot's hometown. So like being a metal musician, that's a thing you can do. You can like do that. I watch these guys do it. And I thought performing up on stage, then I realized, oh, I was hiding behind my guitar. I didn't have to like unveil the real me. So going
Yeah,
up night after night, 5, 6 nights a week, there was a time I was doing 18 sets a week in open mics. I'd try to get at least 18 5-minute sets. And so once I came with
crazy.
the Dude Grows, I was so comfortable. And then COVID taught me. I was live streaming COVID. That's how I learned OBS and all the sort of like production stuff that goes with that. And so I wouldn't say I get nervous at all, but definitely I get in my own head, or I'm like, you know what the big thing is? I'd say, like, especially in the beginning, I was like, no one cares. If I don't show up tonight, no one will even notice. Then
Yeah.
I didn't show up, and I get a dozen messages on Monday going, "Where were you?" And I go, "Oh shit, people do care. All
Oh,
right,
they
well then if
care.
you care, I
I
will
was
show up
watching
if people care."
I was watching that chat pop off tonight, and they were scared, man. They weren't sure what was going on. They were worried. They were worried for you, Grambo.
I'm usually pretty on my game. I'm sitting here at
Yeah.
7:59 with my finger on the button, just waiting to click that button. And then I set it for 8:30. Then I texted you, "Hey, I'm gonna be like 5-10 minutes late again." And
Yeah.
you're a goddamn pro, Ganix. You were here right on time.
Absolutely. Man,
Uh,
that's the thing. Like, it's hard when you're bringing guests on the show. I know with us, like, I always ask people, can you be there like 10 minutes early, 15 minutes early, just to make sure things are working? Because the last thing I ever want to deal with is when somebody's mic's not working or somebody's camera's not working and you're already live. It's like, shit, it makes everything so much harder at that point because now people are
yeah.
watching. But when people show up and it's like 2 minutes to the time and you're like, oh shit, I don't know if they're coming tonight. Like, I don't know if they're coming.
Mm,
They're not late, but they're just not here yet. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I
yeah.
try to be there as early as I can, 10, 15 minutes early.
I get it. I get the fear that, like, they're not coming. I've had the last 2 weeks in a row, I had guests cancel on me day of, like, like 2 weeks ago, and then I had a
Yeah, that's
guest
rough.
cancel, and then I had Turpicana Kyle come on with late notice. And then we had all sorts of technical issues. I had to call him on the phone and like set it on my lap so I could hear him and stuff. It was a
Yeah,
nightmare.
it's rough.
I
Struggle
always
the
use the
struggles that a lot of people don't know. You know what I mean? Like
I, I
there's
always
a
use the
lot to
term that
this.
before I started YouTube, I thought the content fairy just showed up and like content just like was formed. And then even something as simple as a live stream, the amount of like things that go into it, let alone actually producing a show, let alone actually editing. And then we deal with age restriction and also as a shadow banning. It is a constant struggle, especially in the
We've
cannabis.
been we've been dealing with the age restriction over on Garden Cultivation Network. We've been trying to post shorts and stuff like that just to try to kind of like fill in the blanks. And I can't even I don't even have to post the video. I just start posting the video and they already tell me it's age restricted.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay.
We
But I mean,
had
lately I've been getting the age restrictions taken off our videos, but our lives they will not let me. They never give them to me for some reason.
yeah, there's
We show
certain
the same
things.
thing, but
Certain things get it. Certain shows can do certain things. Like one of the things with Dude Grows, we've been able to show nugs. We've brought back dank nugs, like kind of, and it's been working. But if I change the title, if I change a period, if I remove a period from the title, if I change the thumbnail,
yeah,
if I change the description, instantly age gate. And what I really hate about it is that they call it age gating, right? You've got
yep,
an age restriction, but that's not what it is. There's already a button we click that says this is not made for people under 18. That's actually a
right,
separate apparatus. It's a misnomer. What it is subscriber gating. Anyone
yeah,
who does not subscribe to you, you're not going to get sent out to anyone. I'm the same. Like I don't want to go out to anyone under 21. They have no. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. So I said it, not made for minors, not made for anyone. So they call it an age restriction. That's not what it is. They just don't like your content, no matter what your age is. So
yeah.
it is very
One thing I
confusing.
noticed though is if you go and edit your titles through StreamYard, like if it's a live video, if you edit it through StreamYard, they don't make you click all that other nonsense. Like they
Uh,
don't make you age restricted at that point. Like what you were talking about, how if you go and change a title or your description or something like that, you do that through YouTube Studio. If you go through YouTube Studio, they make you age restrict it yourself
right.
in order to save it. But if you do it through StreamYard, they don't do that.
Yeah,
So that's one
I
thing
just
that
I wish
I
they changed
noticed.
the name because we bitch about age restriction and people go, "Yeah, they shouldn't be showing your videos." I go, "Yeah, yeah, we know that's not the point. It doesn't show me to 70-year-olds." You know,
Yeah,
like this is nothing about age. It's actually about content, and we are shadow banned. Like I have the Gramborg members, and I'll always have to post like, "Hey, we're doing a seed giveaway," and then people will send me screenshots showing me, "Hey, your join button isn't there. It's gone." And I go, well, it's there for 150 other people. Why isn't it there for you? Who the frick
yeah.
knows,
Hey,
man?
it was there for me. It was there for me. I clicked it.
Yeah, it
I
was
went
there
for
for
it.
you, and I endlessly thank you, my friend.
I
And
went for it.
I have some seeds for you. I don't know if you need seeds, but
Oh yeah.
it's
I
funny how
mean,
many.
you can always use seeds. I mean,
Well, it blew me away how many people I reached out to. Like I sent like a list like 25 people that had won I on the show the other night, and then a bunch of people messaged me and they're like, "I'm good, honestly, man. Thank you for it." And I was like,
yeah.
"But I
I
do
mean,
get it."
I do have like this year. This is this is my seed box.
Nice.
And I mean, it is bursting at the seams. I've had to put this thing back together before. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, there's stuff in there that you're like, okay, I'm not gonna run it. Or like a lot of I'm not a big autoflower guy. I have a really hard time with autoflowers for some reason. So I mean, when it comes to autoflowers, I'm like, oh, I don't think I can do them. So I kind of there's certain things I steer away from, but I do have them. They're in the collection. So
Yeah, it's one of those things. My seed stash, me and Jaron from Jug Dealers always joke around that it's like it's our apocalypse seed stash. You know, if the shit goes down, it's like I heard a legend of a man who has the dank. You
that's
know, and
that's right. You'll be the guy that people are
he'll
coming
be the
to.
guy.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, we've talked a little YouTube, we talked a little personal life. Let's talk soil. I
Sure.
was going to open up by like asking like how you build a soil, but I didn't want people to think that you bought from Build a Soil. So I was going to go, how do you create a
Nope.
soil?
I've never used Build a Soil, so we'll start off that way.
Nothing
So
against them. They're good folks.
my absolute no, I'm absolutely nothing against. So like we've had Jeremy on the show, super good guy, very very knowledgeable. Guy knows his shit for sure. But he's also a true advocate in if you can build your own soil another way, go for it. Watch his videos and build your soil with what's available to you. Because I find that's a big thing. It's what's available to you where you are. Where I am, there's certain things that you guys have that aren't available to me, and where I am, there might be things that I have that you guys can't get.
Mhm.
Um, so that's a struggle that we've dealt with in Canada. For whatever reason, Canada seems to be hard to get things into. I use a lot of Hygrozyme, which is a Canadian company, and when they came out with their microbial blend, their Hygroben, it was released in the US first. Even though it's a Canadian company, it's made and manufactured in Canada, it's still not released in Canada, but it was in the US.
Weird.
Makes no sense. But I always start off my base always is Promix HP. That's what I always start off with.
All right.
So like I was just saying, I use a lot of Hygrozyme. So right now I'm actually not growing organically, which is one of the very first times in a really long time I haven't grown organically. It's more of a, I'll say more of a synganic at this very moment.
I
So
love a
they have
good
their A and
feedback.
B nutrients, which is it's a synthetic, and I'm using that right now. But I also mix in their enzyme formula, their microbe formula. Then they also have like a chitin blend, which is like a defense. It tricks the plant into thinking that they're under attack. So they'll build up like this defense against heat stress, light stress, bug stress, anything like that. So that's really good. And I'm using their AB, which is like their base nutrient for like their NPK. So that's what I'm doing at the very moment. But I've always used Gaia Green. That's always been my go-to. When I first started, I watched a lot of Mr. Canuck. So that was kind of
Yeah, shout out to
my
Mr.
guy.
Cannabis.
I based pretty much everything I did off of him. So I started with ProMix HP. You know, I add in my worm casting. Um, I always did the 444 right there, the all-purpose 444. But then I would add in things like oyster shell flour for your calcium. I would always add in kelp meal. I would always add in alfalfa meal. Um, and I think that was pretty much all I did for veg was those ones there. But then I always get into the teas. I always make like a worm casting compost tea where I'll use my worm castings. I'll use them in like a tea bag in a bucket with a bubbler. Hell yeah, that's like me. I'm a growing slut. I do it all. Um, I just like to learn. You know what I mean? Like I like to. I have my methods that I prefer, but I can't say I don't like something or I disagree with something or without trying it myself. And to be honest with you, right now with this Hygrozyme line that I'm using, I love it. I don't know if I'm going back.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I probably will. Like I'll probably I have more than one tent now, so I'll probably have one tent that's fully organic and then one tent that I'm doing the Hygrozyme in as well. So, but yeah, like
We just recently the Jug Dealers is powered by 5/8 distribution, and they're like the 5/8 like the pH, and they work with all kinds of like New Millennium is one of their top brands, but then they got Silicium, Scientetics, Dutch Lighting Innovations, a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah,
And the newest member of the team is a Hygrozyme. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about this, but
beautiful.
we just
Beautiful.
started the Jug Club over at Jug Dealers. We're going to start doing a school and discounts and all sorts of different stuff. And one of the things that everybody that signs up over there, if you guys go over to jugdealers.shop and want to sign up for that, everyone's getting free Clonex, free Hygrozyme, all sorts of good stuff. I saw a big pallet
Nice.
come in. I was like, what's going to that? And that's like, that's the freebies going out to all the juggernauts. And I was like, damn, that's why I fuck with the Jug Dealers, man. Y'all got a
Yeah.
pallet of stuff,
And
valuable Hygrozyme.
honestly, that's how Hygrozyme is. Like I've been messing with Hygrozyme now for a couple years, and they just came out with their actual nutrient line. They never had a nutrient line. There was no NPK in their product at all. It was just like the micronutrients that you want to add in there. Um, and the way that I got hooked onto them was like, hey, you want to try a free sample? I said, yeah, sure. So then I did, and then next thing you know, I'm loving it. And they've always been so good to me, you know, like I've really never had to pay like pay for it. I've never really had to buy Hygrozyme, except for the one time that I was out. It was in the mail, it was coming, but I needed it right now. So I did go to my local grocery store who does carry it, and I did pick up what I needed because I needed it. My plants were, you know, the first fix was free, but after that, you know, my plants needed it, so I had to get it. But no, they're such a good company. They've always been so good to me. They've always been so good to my friends around me. You know, like I've tried to get other people to use it because I not because I get it for free, but because I love it. Like I stand by it. I love what it does to my plants. My plants love it. So a lot of people will come to me and say, like, I'm having this issue. I said, have you ever tried Hygrozyme? Next thing you know, they're on it and they're loving it and they're hooked on it too. So
It's tough, right? When you believe in a company, like I'm not
yeah,
personally sponsored by AC Infinity in any way. Like the Dude Grows
yeah,
Show has their affiliate code and everything. They've got a discount code. Me personally, I have no skin in the game. Yet I got reached out by AC Infinity's competitor who wanted to sponsor this, and anybody would have fucking jumped at this. It was a great deal for everyone. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't
yeah,
believe in you guys. I
yeah,
buy my stuff over here. And so I think a lot of people in the cannabis world, especially like Dude Grows and stuff, we only talk about the stuff we actually like, man.
That's
You
right.
couldn't, literally, this company that I won't name, the biggest competitor to AC Infinity. I'm sure I see their name in the chat
Yep.
right now. And I was just like, I can't be in that business, man. I don't know where you source your stuff from. I don't know if you're just
Yeah.
all Chinese white labeling. I have no clue. I don't want to do the research on it. So I turned them down. And that's actually very common in the cannabis world. I don't think anyone I see really recommends products that they don't use.
That's right. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I get this a lot where people are like, "Oh, you only talk about this because you're sponsored or because they give it to you." Well, you know what? I was getting stuff. I was using stuff before it was ever given to me. And a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff that I'm using, you know, I was using it long before it was ever given to me or long before I was ever sponsored by them. So, um, I use things because I like them. And that's the only
Exactly.
reason I use them. And I would use them whether or not they gave it to me or whether or not I had to buy it. I mean, that's what I use in my
Yes.
garden. So,
I endlessly champion my Dr. Dabber Evo. I think it is the best
hell yeah.
thing ever. I paid retail at a head shop for that thing. I will never
Yeah.
see a nickel from Dr. Dabber. Yet if they did pay me, you wouldn't know the difference because I hit the damn
Right.
thing 10 times a day, whether they pay me or they don't. And by the way, hey, Dr. Dabber, reach out because I love your product.
And I'll keep using it.
I will, man. So you talked about your soil mix there, like going through like alfalfa and things like that, and then you mentioned that that was your veg recipe. Is there? I always just was under the impression that like you built your bed and then that's just veg is merely a light cycle at that point. Do you do different
So,
mixes? Do you transplant? What's that look like?
well, there's kind of like that, like the living soil beds where I did an episode with Mr. Grow It. I'm gonna say, God, almost a year ago now, and that's what the episode was about growing organically in small containers. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't do that," but you can do it. So I don't necessarily do like living soil beds. I do like 3 to 5 gallon pots, and I'll mix my soil up pre-transplant. So I'll mix all that stuff into the soil, transplant my plant, let it go through its thing, but about every 3 weeks I'll top dress again. So I'll mix my soil up, grow my plant, about 3 weeks later I'll top dress it again because it does take 3 weeks, 2 weeks to kind of break down and become readily available. It's not available right away. You got to give things time to kind of break down. You got to add your microbes and let the magic happen in the soil. Um, so about 3 weeks into veg, I'll top dress all of that again, and then just before I flip to flower, I'll then get into like the 284, like the Power Bloom, and I have different teas that I use in flour. Like the other stuff, the oyster shell flour, the kelp meal, the alfalfa, that stuff I will still continue to add. So my main difference is now I'm not using the 444, I'm using the 284 when I'm in flour. So that's pretty much what I'll switch there. And then my teas, instead of doing like a regular compost tea, for flour I'll do a mycelium tea. So one is a bacterial tea that I use in veg, and then I use a fungal tea for flour. So
Okay.
I'll create like a mycelium on. I take like the watering trays, like the plant trays that you put your pots in. So I'll get one of those and I'll fill it up with some pro mix, some worm castings. I'll take some like barley pearls, and I'll blend those up so it's a powder. Kind of sprinkle that over, add a little bit of like alfalfa or kelp meal or something, whatever I got, kind of, and you wet it. You put it on a heat mat in a bag, and you don't seal it. You just kind of like cover it, let a little bit of air flow in there. Then over 2 3 days, you'll get like that thick layer of mycelium in there, like that white layer. So I'll take that and I'll dump that into a bucket of water, 5 gallon bucket. 2-gallon bucket, whatever you're working with, and I'll bubble that for 48 to 72 hours. So a fungal tea takes a little bit longer than a bacterial tea. So you let that go, and then once that kind of starts to froth up and kind of bubble over, that's when you know that one's ready. But that one usually takes about 3 days, 2.5, 3 days. So, and that
And
one's
so
more that's a flower.
it's basically the bacteria is good for breaking down the actual like solid elements, and then but then probably doesn't have the force, because when I think of mycelium, I think just churning. I used to grow mushrooms,
Yeah,
psilocybe cubensis back in the day.
it's basically what you're doing. You're growing the beginning stages of mushrooms, basically, and before you get the mushrooms, I mean, you might get a couple in there, but before you get to the mushroom stage, you're putting that into your water. And I like to let everything bubble 24 hours before I ever add to it. Like I try to, because I use tap water, so I try to evaporate as much of that chlorine and all that nonsense that they put into our tap water out. I'll never get it all, but I mean, I try to do my best. I don't have osmosis or anything like that, so um I do use like a carbon filter. It's an RV filter. So I do add that onto my tap and I run my water through there first.
All
So I
right.
try to clear out as much as I can, but I mean, I'll never get it all, unfortunately. But unless you're
So
using like a well
carbon.
water or like a reverse osmosis or something like that, you'll never really get it all out.
Last week I talked about like how surprising it is of like when you actually look at what a plant is made of. It's 45% carbon, 45% oxygen. And I was like, that's so bizarre. And so like we're filtering the air with carbon filters, we're filtering the water with carbon filtration. I mean,
Yeah.
damn, carbon, inanimate carbon rod, you badass.
Actually I saw a post actually. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, and I wish I did because um they were saying if you're in your grow room smoking, not cigarettes, because I mean that's good for nobody, but um, if you're in your grow tent, your room, whatever it is, and you're smoking a joint or hit your bong or whatever, they were saying that's actually good for your plants. The carbon from that is actually good for your plants. So whether it's true or not, I don't know, but
I always feel like the mad cow started because mad cow disease, because we were grinding up sick cows and feeding them back to themselves. And then every time I'm smoking a joint in my grow room, I always feel like I'm giving them mad cow right now. I'm gonna get
I
mad
don't.
weed syndrome.
I'll be in here smoking. I'm like, if you guys don't shape up, if you guys aren't, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, this is gonna be you next. Just letting you know. You know.
Some people really believe in that stuff. Gabe at Jug Dealers, who's like a commercial guy, he's a home grower, obviously, but he's also deals a lot in commercial facilities. And he'll tell people like part of his SOP is like try not to kill plants around other plants, because like it
Mm,
fucks up the, don't cull plants in your grow room. And I heard him say that, and I was like, that's such a bizarre thing to do professionally, but man, the plants do seem to like pick up on vibes, man. The best
really do.
bud I ever get, the people growing it are always like great vibe people, and the guys who are like grumpy, they don't have mids, but it's just
Actually, I got this right here. This is the green soul from Bingus,
all right.
and he talks about stuff like exactly like that in this book. If
It's
you're
one of
you hurt a leaf and the other one sees it, like they can feel, they don't feel it, it's like empathy, you know what I mean, they pick up on it. It's
it's
crazy.
one of the things that's in my 40 plus years of living that has surprised me is how often as time and science goes on, how much hippies keep being right about shit, like environmentally, emotionally, like don't do that, man. It's like feed them
And
this, and then
new.
10 years comes by and some white paper scientifically comes out saying, oh no, plants do respond to so and so, and you go, dude, some fucking deadhead told me that 15 years ago and I thought he was just being stupid. Hippies, man, they tend to know us, they know something.
I had a buddy. He's a little bit older than me, but he's also been growing a lot longer than me. He So I always have music going on in here, like, while as I'm doing stuff, and I try, because of what he told me, I try to keep it somewhat mellow and happy, because he was telling me that at one point he put like heavy metal, loud crashing drums and loud guitars and screaming. He had that, and his plants actually kind of leaned away from the music. But then he put
Wow.
on some, like, dancey, techno-y kind of, like, happy music, and then the plants actually kind of, like, lean towards it. So, I mean,
Interesting. No,
never done it myself,
some of
but I
the
mean, it's a pretty cool little experiment if somebody wants to try that.
some of the best bud that I've had to smoke recent in the last like few months comes from Adam Dunn from TH Seeds, the Amsterdam moved to Denver homie, and I went into his grow room, and there's waterfalls playing, and birds chirping, and there's wind, and I was like,
Yeah,
that can't be a coincidence that some of the softest, nicest bud that I get is fucking from this guy who has, because we've read studies talking about how like scientifically, like whether or not music affects them. It's all vibration, so I'm sure
it's
it's
all the
hard to argue that it
vibrations,
doesn't. But
100%,
there's not
yeah.
hard data on that. But what there is hard data for is that they search for the sound of running water. So if you have like running faucets, like trickling water in your room, the roots actually grow faster because they hear
Hmm,
that sound of running water and they start to stretch out looking for it. Where is it? I hear it. I'm going to stretch out looking for it. And so, quite literally, there's scientific data that roots grow faster near running water. Just the sound,
I
a
wonder if
speed of
that's
running
why,
water.
like in auto pots and stuff like that, they have the little valve that, like, allows water to come in. If you look at
Yeah,
somebody that's gone through a full grow on the autopots, a lot of times the roots have grown into where that valve is, and it's like, it's trying to take over.
I bet.
I always just thought it was going towards where the water was, and I mean, that's
Right.
probably part of it, but maybe it's hearing the water coming into the system as well.
Yes.
I don't
The
know.
one of my first mushroom trips, I was like 14. It took way too much, probably took like 4 grams. And dude, I walked up to a tree and was just like, bro, I see you, my friend. I've walked past
Yeah,
this tree 100 times in my existence, and you're just a tree sitting there. But right now, I
yeah,
fucking see you. And so,
yeah.
yeah, I think we're going to be
You
surprised. There's the
connected.
secret life of plants. Some of that's been a little debunked out there. He went a little hardcore on some of his reporting in that book, but still, I think the philosophy remains that these things are they're alive, man. Women always grow the best plants. Women that are good
100%.
parents always have amazing gardens, and I don't think that's a
100%.
coincidence. One of the crappiest gardens I've ever seen was a woman who hated her own kids and was always blaming lockout. Yeah, I got pH lockout. I got this and that.
Yeah,
And just once again, this is all anecdata. I got no hard facts on this, but as I go through life, I just start thinking, man, like I think there's more going on than I'm prepared to
they
make
pick up
positive
on
statements.
your vibrations, on your attitude, like on how your mood, how you're feeling that day. Like I really believe in that. Like, again, I personally don't have any real data about that, but I mean, like, I look at Sea Bunny. Okay, I look at her garden. She's a mom. She's got a couple kids, and she's a good mom, but she also has a fucking beautiful garden.
Right.
And I'm like, "Man, what are you doing to your plants?" And she's like, "I really don't do anything to them. I just let them do their thing." And I'm like, "No, you don't. That's such a lie." But, it's the nurturing motherly love. Like, that's what it is.
I
I
don't
really
know
believe
what
that.
your background necessarily is up there, but I know most of us that are in this growing world, we come from a little bit of that legacy market, we'll say, back when growing might have paid the rent back in the day. And it's
Yep.
not surprising that I ran it like a factory for so long, and I grew great freaking bud always. But then once I stopped, and I was just like, all right, the pounds are worthless. I'm not
Yeah.
risking everything and spending all this money on and all, blah blah blah. And I started just growing as a hobbyist, and man, my last like dozen harvests have been the best consistently, one after another, the best. And I didn't change anything except for my attitude towards it. And I probably put in less effort now
Yeah.
than then, yet my bud is better. It's the damnest
Yeah.
thing.
It's I truly believe as well, like when you do something for a job, we'll call it like allegedly, um, there's less love involved. You know what I mean? Like it's more about I need to do this because I gotta pay the rent this month. Like when I go to work, I'm a contractor. So when I go to work and I build things all day long, the last thing I want to do when I come home at the end of the day is build things, you know?
Right.
So if I was growing for my job, I feel like I would want to do it less. Like my mood would be shittier, I think, I thought of it, when I looked at growing. I wouldn't look at it the same way. Where now I do this because I love it, and that's the only reason why I do it. And
Yeah.
your plants definitely pick up on that.
That's true, man. Now that I'm a professional content creator, I have such a hard time making. Man, I used to make a comedy video a week. I'd make a tutorial. I was just making things. And now that I professionally make things, it's just like, ugh, I don't want to make
Right.
more things. That's
And
why this
when I can
channel
do
needs a
things,
Grambo.
I wouldn't say I'm a professional content creator because I mean I still go to my normal job outside of content creating. Again, I do the content because I enjoy doing it. But when somebody says, "Hey, do you mind doing a video for us? I think it would be really cool if you did something." When I have to do those videos compared to the ones that I just make because I feel like it, it's so different. It takes me way longer to make those ones, and it might only be 30 seconds long. It might not even be that long, you know? But I can make a 10-minute video a whole lot easier when I want to, when it's just when I'm thinking about it, you know? So
Yeah.
again, it's the
Yeah.
same.
I'm motivated by competition and spite a lot of the
Mhm.
times. And so a lot of my best content comes from me going, fuck you, I'll show you. I'll show you. And then I
Yep.
make it, it does well. And then I go, all right, now I prove my point. I prove I know what I'm doing. Now I have no motivation to
Yep.
do it again.
My problem is when I make those kind of videos, whether I try to or not, people can pick up on that. People are like, "Oh, he made that when he was mad." I can tell. You know what I
You know
mean?
what's
Like it's
funny
just
is
the
that
music that's in it, or
I'm
like,
always shocked, like, because I work for other people, and everyone in chat and here knows who I work for, and they're both sets of there's guys and guys that work together for 10 years. There's going to be disagreements, and
of
funnily
course,
enough, sometimes our biggest angry episodes where we're disagreeing, technology's fucking up, something's not good, we're disagreeing on points, we're marking 20 edits, no, you can't say that, let's do it again, whatever the fuck. And then the comments are like, you guys are so cool and like get along
yeah,
so good, and I go, dude, we were fucking choking each other.
we're
Are you kidding
mad.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's
yeah,
when it's when the camera in comedy, just in performance art, they call it the stage health. Michael Jordan had his best game with the flu. Man, when the camera turns on and it's time to go, literally, that's why I was saying, I always, when I wake up every Sunday, I go, I should cancel the stream. And I
yeah,
never do, because I know that right now, like, we've been doing this for 48 minutes and I have problems in life, stuff that I dwell on from the minute
yeah.
I open my eyes until the minute I go to sleep. I'm going through a breakup currently. Everyone in chat knows my struggles with this beautiful woman I fell in love with and then fucked it up, because I was going through surgery, being selfish, just not being a good guy. Fucked myself out of it. It bugs me during this hour, 90 minutes, whatever we do, 45, hour 10, it's gone. I am here with
Yeah.
you. I am here with Chad. I'm not thinking about nothing. And that really is the secret. If you really love this and you really love your community, it's not only not an energy suck, it is an energy boost. I usually end
100%.
the
Yep.
stream and do push-ups. Like, I actually
Right.
feel like, I
Or
could
you
go work
feel
out a
like you
little
just
bit.
did push-ups. Like when I like we Sea Bunny and I do this twice a week. So after a show, like we do a Wednesday at 9 p.m. So we're an hour on our show, so we go till 10 p.m. But I gotta get up, I gotta go to bed and wake up and go to work in the morning. After we do the Wednesday streams, I'm so like pumped up and
Wired.
full of energy. Like there's no going to bed right away. Like I gotta
Yeah.
calm down for 2 hours before that's even possible.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, no,
we should
I
give a
feel
little
that for
shout out
sure.
while we're on the subject that you and C Bunny run the Garden
Absolutely.
Cultivation Network.
We do,
You
yeah.
guys have been doing this for a hot little minute. You guys are coming up on 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys if
Yes,
you're a fan of
sir.
Grambo and you like the sort of stuff that I do, I believe you would like the Garden Cultivation Network. So make sure you type it in. You're not horribly shadow banned. I actually typed in Garden Cultivation Network and it came up. So
Yeah.
yeah, go over, subscribe over
We
there.
can't
They're
get
almost to a
monetized, but
thousand. A
but
thousand's a big
we're
deal.
not 100% shadow banned, which is good. But we are doing a
It
big
is.
giveaway coming up on 1,000. So when we do hit that 1,000, we've been putting together a nice giveaway. So we're gonna have like a whole Friday night stream that we always do. But this one's gonna be dedicated to just giving back to the community, back to the people that are here each and every week. And we always do them live, and you got to be in it to win it. You got to be there in order to get involved in it, and you'll win that
I
night. You'll
dropped
know
it.
if you're winning.
I dropped it in chat, so anyone watching here live, click that link right there, or just as you can see, Garden Cultivation Network. Type that into YouTube, and yeah, definitely subscribe. I always open the show. They say in YouTubing that you want to do, they call them call to actions, the CTAs. You want to do a CTA on top of a moment of value when like Ganix is like, oh, and then you add the alfalfa and it fucking blooms. And then that's when I would
Yeah,
click my little button, subscribe, But I've
right.
been opening with it so I can just make sure that everyone understands like subscribe, not just for my own ego. And it does boost my ego. Like number goes up, blessings come down. I love it.
Yep.
And but really it is to show like YouTube as we're moving forward, it's like YouTube wants users to enjoy their experience. That's that they really do. And if they find out that tens of thousands of people are subscribing to these channels, it really does. In their board meetings, cannabis content comes up. I read the terms of service. There's a terms of service update February 1st. I read it thoroughly because I'm paid to do these sort of things. So I actually will pull out the magnifying glass and go through it and read it. And
Yeah,
I saw that, oh, it had changed. The wording is different. Let's try bringing back dank nugs. And we did what the fans have called the hostage letter. We do 10-second opening of like, hey, if your garden, yada, yada, yada. And then I come in, it's like the Dude Grow Show is compliance to terms of service and blah blah blah. And I read, and they call it the hostage letter. And so we
yeah.
started doing the hostage letter and like
I got one
reaffirming
on
that we
there
were,
too. Yep,
yeah, you got to have the hostage letter.
yep.
But it's the damnedest thing. So subscribing to me, subscribing to Ganix, subscribe to Mr. Grow It. I saw someone just posted that Cannabis Lifestyle TV Rob just had his membership program taken
Yeah,
away.
I
That's
saw
freaking
that.
bunk.
That's huge,
So
man.
one thing
That's
you
so
can
bad.
do
Like,
is sharing is, I always say at the end of this video, I say, see that share button, roll this video up and pass it to a friend, because they
yep.
cannot shadow ban us if you guys share. That's so
And it's free.
subscribe to all your
You know what I
favorite,
mean?
because here's the thing,
It's
YouTube
absolutely free.
recommends it. Like you open up your YouTube, you don't have to subscribe to anything. It just recommends it to you, right? Well,
Yeah,
then you get age gated and you're not subscribed. Well, it's not going to recommend it to you now. So if you do enjoy, not just me, you don't have to subscribe to me. I'll live. I work for Dude Grows and Jug Dealers. I'd rather you guys subscribe to those channels than here, but
yeah.
subscribe to all your favorite cannabis content creators. Share their videos on social media. It really is the thing. And all you
It
guys like
makes a
J
big
Rats
difference. It
dropping
makes
the
a
gift
huge
subs.
difference.
Thank you, J Rats. He just dropped a deuce right on my chest. Thank you, my friend.
Hell yeah. Oh, I got the pups coming in to say hi.
Whoa, what do we got here? Nothing ups the subscriber counts like doggo videos. So who's this fella?
And you go. This is Miss Coda. Oh, now
Oh,
I'm all
Miss
blurry.
Coda.
Miss
Oh,
Coda.
little
Yeah.
puppers. I love the doggos.
There we go. Now we're not blurry anymore. Yeah, she's a good girl. But like
Oh,
I
yeah.
did say earlier that it was it's a long weekend here, so we got fireworks going off and everything, and she is terrified. She's been like hiding under the
Oh,
desk and barking at everything and growling, and yeah, she's been having a rough go.
it is tough, man. The dogs, if dogs hate fireworks, I used to have a dog that would try to claw through the wall. He would try to dig through the wall to get away. It's so brutal.
Damn dogs. Yeah. No, they're
You are the
good.
Hulk.
They
You wouldn't like Annex when he's angry. Like right here, he's Banner. He's
mhm.
like, oh yeah, everything's good. And then the fireworks go off, and he's like, you fucking son of a bitch. It's bizarre. I don't know why. I don't know why the camera's
It's the
doing
light.
that. Hell yeah. So
There you
two
go. There's
people
a
just
thumbnail.
posted that they have subbed over there. So hopefully the number goes up. Nothing makes me
Oh yeah,
happier
we
than watching
appreciate that.
everyone around. Shout out Colorado Chris is out there. The Seed to Harvest podcast.
Actually,
They crossed 1,000.
we're going to be having Colorado Chris real soon over on the Garden Cultivation Network. So,
Hell yeah.
and
Love
we try
seeing
to
it. That's
do
the
like Wednesday nights. We always bring on a guest. Grambo's been a guest, and every Wednesday we always try to bring on a guest for an hour, pick their brain, get to know that person behind the growing, behind the podcast, behind the whatever it is that they're doing, whether it's a company, whether it's a grower, whether it's a podcast or whatever it is. And then Friday nights, we bring on anybody and everybody that wants to come on from the community. We do a show your grow.
yes.
And
Yes.
a lot of people thought that we were new when we came over to YouTube, but we've been doing the show your grow for 5 years now, just about. Because we were doing it over on
Nice.
Instagram for 3 years, 3.5 years, and then we moved over to YouTube when they became not so friendly with what we were doing. So,
Yeah.
half the time I couldn't see the people that were coming on. It was either a black screen or there just wasn't a screen. I could hear their audio, but that was it. So then we
Mm.
moved over to YouTube and we started doing this. And yeah, every Friday night at 9 p.m. we bring guests on, community members. There's a link in the chat. Anybody
And
can
then
click it.
what time zone are you in on that?
We're in the Eastern time zone, so 9 p.m.
Okay.
Eastern Standard Time.
It's so
So
tough. Like even
it
I
is.
asked you yesterday to come on, and I was like, shit. I think is he Midwest? I knew you weren't mountain. I was like, is he Midwest or East? I can't. And they were like East. I was like, oh shit, because it's the late night smoke actually is late over on
Right.
the East Coast. I don't start till
Yeah,
10,
like
10:30.
for me, it's like 11, almost 11:45 right now, which is okay. Because like I said, I don't have to work tomorrow,
Good.
so
Well,
we're good.
we're running right. We blasted through it, man. This went fast. We're coming up on an
It
hour.
went
We're
real quick.
57 in.
Hell yeah. So
So
yeah, make sure
anything
everybody
else
goes
that
over, subscribes to Sea Bunny Grows 2 on Instagram. Like Grambo said earlier, she did lose her account a couple months ago. She's in the rebuilding phase. Also, she's over on YouTube. Also, our Garden Cultivation Network on YouTube. I'm over on Instagram under Mr. Underscore Organics because I lost my account a couple months ago as well. Just
yes.
brutal, but it is what it is. And yeah, as well as Garden Cultivation Network. But that's where we do most of our content is on YouTube for GCN.
How's it? Well, as we're landing this plane, is there any takeaways that people should have for growing organically? Is there
Don't be
you're
scared.
kind of what's that?
Don't be scared of it.
All right. So if I consider
I'm actually gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, because I'm always I go from running New Millennium to then Grow Dots, the two bipolar extremes, and I always think of like it would be fun to try growing more organically, and even that word organic, it's very slippery. Like you're
It
talking about,
is.
you
Yeah.
start putting this thing in this thing, all of a sudden now it's synganics versus organics,
Yeah.
and so if I had my 5x5 and I wanted to just throw like 6 plants in there, and I was thinking about, yeah, let's try it. What would be something you'd recommend to send me off in the right direction? I know you mentioned Pro Mix. You mentioned what are the staples? What do I need?
I would say that you need worm castings. worm castings to me are they'll always be there, whether I'm organic,
Is that
organic, synthetic, they'll always be there.
is that a nutrition thing, or is that enzymatic and microbial? What is the
It's a little
worm
bit of
casting?
both. It's a little bit of both. So you will get some nitrogen from it because I mean, pretty much from any shit that you add, you're gonna get a little bit of NPK value from that. Usually nitrogen. But you'll also get the microbial. You'll be adding life to the soil by adding in those worm castings, which to me, when it comes to organic, you want to add as much life to that soil as possible. So the more life that you can add, the more microbial life is obviously always going to be better and beneficial. So definitely microbes and yeah, so worm castings are a huge staple. Um, whether that's in your soil or again, teas. If you just even do like a worm casting tea, you don't even have to add anything else to it. If you just do that, your plants will love it. They will thank you almost immediately. You will see your plants will stand up nice and tall. They'll turn a certain green that you've never seen before. And so worm castings for sure. Um, you always want to add in like that base nutrient too, like that 444 from Gaia Green, or Down to Earth has one. I think it's a little different, but I want to say it's very close to a 444. It's like a 555 or something like that. But again, depending on where you live, depending on where you're from, certain things are going to be more available to you. So just look and see what's reasonable when it comes to price, because I can get the Down to Earth here, but it's about $75 a box, where I can buy Gaia Green for like a 20-kilogram bag for that price. So
Mm.
always look
All
at the
right.
prices and stuff. Like don't kill yourself when it comes to buying products. Like do your research first, and just look and see what each and everything does, and just do your research. That's what I say. Do your research.
Interesting. Yeah, it clicks in my head as you're talking about this, because I remember, yeah, I was a fan of Dude Grow Show like way before I worked with him, and I always listen. And Scott in cocoa, he would always amend his cocoa with worm castings, and then
Yeah.
I noticed that when I started working with him, that he doesn't amend with worm castings anymore, and I go, oh, that must have been pre-recharge. Like that must have
Yeah.
been the thing that led him towards like, man, I wish there was an all-in-one like
Right.
microbe tea that I could just add to water and then be done. So I don't have to ferment anything. And he probably goes, ding, I should make
Yep.
that.
That's probably exactly what happened. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
interesting.
like there's definitely
Yeah.
things out there. Like you could, like you were talking about build the soil earlier. Like you could get all of what I'm talking about. You can get that. They make teas and ferment teas and all that stuff. And when it comes to organic as well, like you really, really can go down the wormhole. Like there's so you can dial it way back, and you can just give the all purpose and the power bloom, or you can go into making labs and teas and all kinds of other stuff. Like there's so far you can go with organic. Like you can keep it simple, or you can get real complicated. So
Well,
my
I
my
think this,
advice is definitely keep it very simple at the start, and just kind of like anything else, just go down that wormhole and learn it
and I'd
as
say
you go.
you jog a little thing, because in my teaching, I always teach myself skills, and then I go,
Yeah.
well, what are the people at the top doing? Let me like kind of learn their system, and then like just make it my own. Throw what I don't like away and double down on what I
Yep.
do like, and go peruse some of these sites like Build a Soil. Maybe you purchase from them, maybe you don't. Maybe you just go and see like,
Yep.
well, they sell these 10 products. What can I get at the local grocery store? You're talking about oyster shell meal and things like that. You can
Yep.
get that at certain food distribution. Health food stores have things, you know.
The feed stores, like the tack feed stores, like the farm stores, you can get a lot of, like, you can get alfalfa. You won't get alfalfa meal, but you can get alfalfa pellets, because that's what they're feeding to some animals. So you can get this for way cheaper than you can go buy a bag of Gaia Green alfalfa meal. You know what I mean? So like you can, you might have to put in a little bit more work. You know what I mean? You might have to break some of this stuff up into more of a powder so it's more available. It dissolves quicker, like whatever you got to do. But if you're trying to save a couple bucks here and there, and it all helps because this can be a pretty expensive hobby that we all have. So if you can save a couple bucks as you go by, putting in 5 extra minutes of work on something, I definitely recommend it.
Hell yeah. Well, that's where I'm going to start, Ganix. I might, even tonight, I might just go over, now that I kind of have this thought structure in my head, maybe I'll go over to the build a soil and just look. What
Yeah,
is a soil? What are you guys selling over there? What can
man.
I make out of it? What do I have here
What
at home?
Go to his YouTube channel and watch some of his videos. Like he does like a whole season of videos on one thing, like on one grow.
Um,
So he'll go through the whole thing with you and he gets the whiteboard out and he's writing down equations and like he gets really, really technical with it. But I feel like it's all important to watch. You know what I mean? Like whether you understand it at that moment or not, you might not, but you will over time listening to him
you're
talk. Like
right.
he really breaks it down and he's a really easy guy to listen to. So
Yes. I'd say that's after you've subscribed to Grambo Grows and Garden Cultivation Network, go throw a sub over to Jeremy. They're killing over there. What was that say?
oh yeah.
206,000. The few times I've gotten to speak to Jeremy behind the scenes, he's also the man's a content creator. Like he gets it. He
Yeah.
gets the struggle of dealing with the shadow banning, the age restriction, and everything. So yeah, I think
So
that's
smart though, man. So smart that guy is.
fuck yeah. All right, Ganix. Well, we did it. I appreciate you staying up so late with me. You said tomorrow's what holiday?
Tomorrow is May 24th, so it's Victoria Day. So here in
Okay.
Canada we celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday.
All right.
So they give us a long weekend out of it. So I mean I can't complain.
Bro, we got Columbus Day here. Ain't no one giving a fuck. Yeah,
That's
no.
right.
You know, some people
Yeah.
think Columbus is a war criminal, yet I'll still take his fucking day off.
Damn right. Damn right. It's
Oh
one less
yeah.
day I gotta work and I still get paid for it. So hell
God
yeah.
damn. Well, I'm glad that I caught you on the right day, my friend, because I
Yes,
was
sir.
worried. I had a guest cancel late. I had my kid. Everything was going crazy in my life. And Mr. Ganix, you are Gramborg, and you saved this Sunday, my friend.
Oh yeah. Try to do my
Hell yeah.
part wherever I can.
Fucking A, brother. Well, thank you again. Go follow Garden Cultivation Network. Go follow Mr. _Ganix on Instagram. And have me on sometime. I'm always up at Dude Grows comes
Absolutely,
out
man.
on Wednesday. So I'm usually up in the bakery, but yeah, I'm always down to kick it. I can hang out at the bakery a little bit longer. So one of these Wednesdays, let me
I
know. I
think
want to
I think
come.
last time you were on, Scotty was running around doing all types of crazy shit behind you.
That's probably yes, exactly. Because I'm always like, that's the one time I have is after work at the
Yeah.
bakery.
Yeah, so yeah, we're booking into July right now, so we got some cool guests coming up. So yeah,
Beautiful.
either myself or C Bunny will reach out and we'll get you booked for another day. Get you on.
Hells yeah.
It's always fun, man.
Do
It's
it.
always a good conversation. It's always
I
fun.
love
But
it.
man, I appreciate
I
you
love
having me on. I thank you very much. It's always a good time, like I was saying, and it's like two buddies hanging out, shooting the shit. That's all.
just bald and balder. You're bald, I'm balder.
That's that's right. You are a little bit more bald than I am right now.
Bro, I'm hella bald. I go all the way back. This goes to like here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I got the little circle back here, and I got the like the thinning up here. But I mean, I'm bald enough that I can still call myself bald. And hey,
My man.
I don't mind. I've embraced it. I don't mind anymore.
Yeah,
I like
literally
it.
like I hang out with good looking dudes who get laid way less than me. They
Right.
can suck it. Bald daddy look is that's all you need, baby. I'm daddy.
That's right.
What
Daddy
I
Grambo.
told I told the dude that once we get past an hour on this show, I start fucking oversharing. And I look at the clock and I go, yeah, right around an hour. I start saying things I shouldn't be saying on camera.
Grambo starts getting loopy right around the hour mark.
That's true. Fuck yeah, brother.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
thank you again,
right.
and I will see you again soon on your show, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All
And
right.
we'll see you soon.
All right.
Peace
Later,
out,
brother.
everybody.
Guys, that was the late night smoke for May 18th, 2025. Awesome freaking experience. My buddy LDGC 420 just popped in. He is tied for first in the Gramborg, and I'm pretty sure I'll see you at the DGC Cup, right, buddy? I am super stoked. Guys, once again, the DGC Cup is coming up. That shit's in like 2.5 weeks. It's fucking, I was checking the weather and I'm like, holy crap, the fucking it's gonna be times like I wonder what the weather for the DGC Cup is gonna be like. It's gonna be sick. So DGCcup.com. I hope to see you guys there. You know who you will definitely see there is Raider Dank Vader, my man, with the plan. Some of the best pizza in Colorado. Check out if you guys do come to DGC Cup, or if you come to Fort Collins, Colorado for any reason, go check out Fuego Pizza. At the he was nice enough to have me and Scotty and Pigeons 420. We all went up into his restaurant. He cooked us a smorgasbord of amazing pizza, and yeah, it was a sight to behold. So check out the Fuego Pizza over there. He'll be at the Cup. Healthy Green's going to be at the Cup. LDGC 420 is going to be at the Cup. Cannabis Vibe. I can't wait to hang out with you, you long-haired hippie. You for sure are on my hug list there, Cannabis Vibe. Love you, buddy. And yeah, guys, subscribe if you vibe. Smoke that like button. Roll this video up, pass it to a friend. You guys know what we always say. Sharing is caring. Sharing this video on social media. And I didn't get to it, but I'm going to my man, my homie over on Instagram, the Cannabis Cook. Don't try to find him because that ain't his name. The Cannabis Cook, he sends me clips of time codes of this show of like interesting moments. And I was stressing out because like, fuck, I can't remember when I said the seed giveaway announcements. And he sent me a clip right there. It was. Thank you, Cannabis Cook. The seeds are coming out, guys. I'm going to repost the winners of all the names that I announced. For sure, like 30 of you guys won, and I've barely had a dozen people reach out. So I'll be re-putting that clip out there, and I'm gonna get these seeds sent out to you, or more specifically, Mo Grows is gonna, and my buddy the lurking boss himself, the bakery boss. He's always lurking. You always Scotty reads the comments, man. Like if you guys are ever on Dude Grows or on Scotty Real 420, another cannabis content creator you should be subscribing to over there. Scotty reads the comments. That man cares. He hangs out with me. He hangs out with the other content creators. So if you're a content creator, Scotty might be in your chat. Say hello. It'll just be like, here I am. You'll be like, holy shit, Scotty's actually there. So, guys, you have won seeds and you need to email me. Grambo@dudegrows is my email over there. Email me. And once I get these seeds sent out, the next round of giveaways goes out to all of you guys. The raffle is on. So if you haven't joined the Gramborg yet, I recommend it. It's $5 a month. I do a post show every single, so you get for $1 a week, you get something awesome, and you get a chance to support this show and bring out there. Once again, I'm going to give it up to LJ Jones, dropping 15 gift subs today. We got Cody Whittaker dropping 10 gift subs today. Green Meds throwing $10. J Rats dropping a deuce on my chest. And I love it. Thank you guys. Once again, I wouldn't do this show if it wasn't for you guys. Other than the member support, I don't make a dime. I don't fucking have any sort of sponsorship or anything. I literally do this because I get lonely at night, and hanging out with you guys it's the best fun that I have all week. It makes me forget all my problems, and I really just get to focus on the thing I love: growing cannabis, making people laugh, entertaining people. It really makes my life meaningful. So seriously, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Healthy Green, I will see you in, what was it, 20 days, 18 days? What did you say? God damn, you guys comment a lot. I can't even find the comment. So yes, I've gotten mushy enough here. I will what just happened? LJ Jones, did you drop another 5? Jesus Christ, LJ Jones. Well, welcome the new 30 members of the Gramborg. We will be doing a post show right after this. So I'll see you guys over there on the after party. And yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the DGC Grow Talk over there is Monday mornings, Tuesday at Jug Dealers, Wednesday at Dude Grows, Friday DGC Grow Talk, Saturday Dude Grow Show, 9 a.m. And I'll see you back here next Sunday for another episode of Grambo Grows. Nothing but good vibes up in here.
We're dropping knowledge on Grambo Grows, talking about plants and how they go. Let's go. From seeds to the cure, we always smoke pure.